The end is here for DinoLand USA. Well, part of DinoLand USA. Chester and Hester's Dinorama, or as some people call it, that weird carnival that's at a Disney theme park for some reason, is now closed forever and will soon be wiped off the face of Animal Kingdom. There's no doubt that a cheap roadside carnival isn't exactly what people want at a Disney park. And there's no doubt that this area could have been a whole lot better and fit with the rest of Dinoland. But I personally like Dinorama, and I had some great memories there. In my defense, I was 5 when I first went to Animal Kingdom and experienced Dinorama. And despite being a carnival, it did have some Disney magic. Dinorama was a very clean carnival. I also felt very safe on all of the attractions, all 2 of them. And all of the workers weren't drunk. So, yeah, there was a little bit of magic at this roadside carnival. But now let's get into more detail about what was at Dinorama and what there was to do there. Let's start with the giant dinosaur in the carnival, the Cementosaurus. This thing was massive. As a kid, I looked up in awe at this, at the time, giant orange dinosaur. You could even walk under the Cementosaurus. It even had lights on the stomach of it, which people called nipple lights because of obvious reasons. But it really was a cool dinosaur and an icon of Dinorama. One of the things you could do at Dinorama was pay to play fossil fun games, which is just a fancy name for carnival games. These carnival games were basically the same games you would find at any other carnival, except these games were dinosaur themed, and you could win Dinorama themed prizes, including a Cementosaurus plush. Chester and Hester's Dinorama also featured 2 attractions. One of the attractions was Triceratops Spin, a spinner ride similar to the Dumbo one at Magic Kingdom, except instead of flying elephants, it's flying Triceratops. I don't think it's very historically accurate to have flying Triceratops, but I mean, it's a carnival ride, so I guess it makes sense. It was an okay ride. Wasn't anything special, but if you had little kids and you needed to do something, there it was. The other attraction that was at Dinorama, which was actually closed in 2020 and was later demolished, was Primeval Whirl, a spinning wild mouse coaster. Primeval Whirl was themed to time travel and took you back in time to the end of the Cretaceous period, which was extremely close to the giant asteroid impact that destroyed most life forms on Earth. Which sounds familiar. It was basically a humorous take on Dinosaur, the ride in the Dino Institute section of Dinoland. Primeval Whirl also had the dinosaur that was holding up a sign that read, "The end is near." And that guy's been pretty famous since they announced the closure of Dinoland. The coaster itself wasn't unique, they have it at other theme parks, but it was awesome. Now, some people didn't like it because it was a carnival ride at Disney and it spinned a bunch and got people sick, and I agree with that, but I can't lie and say I didn't love this ride as a kid. It was awesome, and it was such a big part of Dinorama. I mean, when they demolished this thing, it completely changed Dinorama. It turned from a roadside carnival into a half abandoned roadside carnival. Something that also closed in Dinorama before all of Dinorama closed was Dino Diner. This was a neat looking diner from the outside, but it was a lie. It wasn't an actual diner. You couldn't actually go inside. You ordered your food on the outside of this small fake diner, and then you would eat it outside, which is not great in the Florida heat. And the food itself was subpar carnival food, I guess to keep with the immersion. Right next to Chester and Hester's Dinorama was a roadside gift shop named Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures. Even though this looks like a gas station turned gift shop, which is what it's supposed to look like, it's still pretty well themed. There were a lot of cool things in there, especially when you looked up. There was a train going around, there were volcanoes. It was a really cool store. I also like that it gave you a reminder that when in Florida, be sure to visit Epcot. But the final thing at Dinorama that I want to talk about are the billboards. I've always been a sucker for cool looking billboards, and these billboards are cool looking. Especially that Welcome to Diggs County billboard. There's just something about it that I want as a poster. But at the very least, these billboards will live on in the form of pictures on my phone. And that is Chester and Hester's Dinorama. But before I end this video, I wanted to talk about the story of Dinorama because a lot of people don't know about it. And a lot of people think that Disney built this carnival because they were cheap, which is true. Disney did go cheap, and that's why they built this carnival. But the Imagineers also came up with some lore to try to make Dinorama fit with the rest of Dinoland. Chester and Hester were gas station owners in a Floridian small town during the 1940s. In 1947, the bones of a Tyrannosaurus rex were discovered in what became the Boneyard. Various paleontologists traveled to the town to excavate, and in 1949, the Dino Institute was founded. Chester and Hester would make profit from this by selling tacky dinosaur souvenirs from their gift shop. The two would go on to open the amusement park, Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama, while turning their old gas station into a gift shop. So it's a cool story, but at the end of the day, it is just a carnival. So I understand why people don't like it. But as someone who started going when they were 5, I enjoyed Dinorama, and I have some great memories there. And there was definitely some charm to this roadside carnival. But I want to know what you think about Chester and Hester's Dinorama. Will you miss it, or are you glad that the carnival is finally gone from Animal Kingdom? I mean, I doubt you would have gotten this far if you didn't like Dinorama, but if you did, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'm Running Man, and I'll see you next time.